Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's good to see you again today. As I mentioned on the phone, I wanted to discuss today your insurance needs, specifically life insurance. I'd like to go over the necessity of life insurance and the reason for life insurance, the types of life insurance that would be available to you, how we determine the amount we would choose to insure, and where we would go about purchasing a policy. So first, let's start off with the need for life insurance. Mr. Smith, if you were single, this was 10 years ago, you were single, nobody else depended upon you for their survival, your income for their survival, I would recommend no insurance. But being married with 2 children who depend upon your income for their survival, I would say life insurance is a necessity. As to which type of life insurance, there are 2 types, basic types: cash value life insurance, which is also an investment vehicle that builds up a cash value policy, and there's 3 different vehicles as well within cash value life insurance, but that's a complicated product. It's expensive for the amount of insurance that you are purchasing, because it is a dual vehicle, a investment vehicle as well as insurance. I would recommend term life insurance, which is straight, simple life insurance. You choose the term that you wish to be insured for, you choose the amount that you want to insure yourself for, and you pay an annual premium. And it's much cheaper for the amount of insurance you're getting than it is with cash value life insurance, as well as the fact that the terms are renewable, although they would be at higher rates at the end of the term. In your case, I would recommend 25 years, just to the young age of the children, to provide for them through their college and until they're set up on their own. And the next thing we need to speak about is how we would determine how much insurance to purchase. We use something called the needs approach, where it determines what your actual needs would be if the unmentionable happens and we do need to cash in on the policy. But the needs approach goes through several different needs that would come about, again, in the event of your demise. The immediate needs would cover such things as lawyers' fees, estate taxes, anything else like that of an immediate nature, funeral expenses and such. We would also have to combine debt elimination, credit card debt, car loans, and perhaps not all of your mortgage, but at least a portion of your mortgage should be included in that as well. Transitional expenses are another thing that should be included as well. They would include job training or going back to school expenses such as that for Mrs. Smith, so that she could provide employment for herself after that. Then the main portion to be covered is the loss of your income. And we would determine how much of your income to look at by subtracting the amount of savings from your annual income, which in your case is roughly $75,000, and from what we've seen, you're saving roughly $5,000 a year between retirement accounts and savings. So that means we'd be looking to replace $70,000 of savings for, I would recommend, in the area of a 25-year term again. So that would be, and that would provide the bulk of the policy that you're buying. You would also like to include educational expenses for the children. I'm sure that you hope that both of them go to college down the line. That would probably add, I would recommend in the area of $100,000 each by the time that they're going to college, and perhaps more. And again, we would have to fine-tune these numbers based on how much things cost at that point in time versus what you're insuring yourself for now. And we'd also like to include somewhat, because you won't be around to put into your retirement account, so there would be no 401k for Mrs. Smith to live on come retirement time, in addition to Social Security money. So when I calculated your guys' needs, roughly I came up with approximately $2 million. And again, we could fine-tune that number give or take, move it up and down, see what works for you. But just to get an idea of what costs we're looking at for a $2 million policy on a 25-year term from Mass Mutual would roughly run $1,255 a year. And I'll get into the ratings. And where I did come up with those, because that's what we would also have to buy. Mass Mutual is a good company. And that's what you would want to find out is companies that are going to be solvent. They're going to be around to pay off on your policy 20 years, 25, 30 years down the line. There are places such as AM Best, Moody's, Standard & Poor's that rate the insurance companies and their solvency, and they grade them. Mass Mutual happens to be an A++ from AM Best, which is a superior. And again, we would look into that to find one. Perhaps we could find one cheaper. That's just one that I found quickly. And you can't shop around because the policies are basically the same. It's the only thing you're relying on is the ability of the company to pay out in the need, and the price of the policy for what they're providing. So if you have any questions, you could ask me now, and if not, we can further discuss this and see where we stand. Thank you.